The answer is yes, but the reason why the answer is yes is because Democrats would never do that. So we live in an era of asymmetric polarization where Republicans violate the law, they violate the Constitution, they play constitutional hardball, they filibuster everything, they hold a Supreme Court seat open for 300 days plus under Obama, they rush in Amy Coney Barrett with 8 days before the election into total rampant hypocrisy, and their voters like it, and their base loves it. And then the Democrats come into power wringing their fucking hands and crying about how things aren't fair, and then they immediately handcuff themselves and go, oh, I guess we lose again. Instead of when we had the House and the Senate and the White House, why didn't they admit DC and Puerto Rico as states? If Puerto Rico wants to be a state, they become a state. If DC wants to be a state, that's 4 more Democratic senators. Why didn't they do that? The Republican Party split up Dakota. It used to be the Dakota Territory, but the Republican Party split it to North and South Dakota for the express purpose of getting 4 Republican senators instead of 2. Why is it that we have 800,000 Americans on the mainland who can't vote for Congress, and we've got millions of Americans sitting in this like second-class citizenship in Puerto Rico? Either give Puerto Rico independence or make them a fucking state and give them rights. The Democratic Party doesn't even talk about stuff like that. There was a bill called the For the People Act, HR 1, that would have solved political gerrymandering. Why didn't the Democrats pass it? It also would have given public financing for elections to undermine corporate money in our politics. Why didn't the Democrats pass it? Because they don't want to win. I'm not even talking about big radical policies. I'm talking about good government to make sure our elections are fair, that districts are fair, that every American citizen has representation in Congress. Why can't the Democrats even campaign on that? And instead, now we have a situation where the Senate is skewed towards Republicans. So they're having 30 senators because of the small states, and California has more population than 30 states combined. I think it's actually 38 states combined or some fucking crazy number. And they have 2 senators? Why is this system okay? Because the Democrats are not fighting to win. We all know this is unfair. We all know it's undemocratic. Where is the Democratic Party? And I know a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, Mike, why the Republicans do something bad and you blame the Democrats? And the answer is, I expect the right wing to do bad things. But we need an opposition party. If you want to stop the right wing, it isn't just pointing at the Republicans. When the Democrats come in, they don't do anything to fix it. That's why we're in this crisis, because people cannot get solutions from the Democratic Party. You can't win on, at least I'm not Republican. People need problems fixed. And I really need you to believe that we can fix them. Because if you believe we can't do anything, if you think you are civically educated because you believe we can't do anything, when I just showed you how the Democrats had the power to fix these problems and they passed on it, you are now the problem. You are the person that is against the politicians like Zoran Mamdani, get it right. You're the problem. And I want to believe that you in your heart of hearts want change. If you in your heart of hearts want change, you have got to raise your standards. You cannot let politicians like Joe Biden ever, or Hillary Clinton, ever take power at our party again. These people are collaborators with the right wing, and they have put us in a position of complete defeat, and our constitutional order is falling apart to Donald Trump.